In this video lecture, we will discuss about biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are those organisms which can be added into the plants which can increase the growth of the plant yield, quality of the root, shoot and other things can be improved. The organisms which mainly used as a biofertilizers are the bacteria, fungi and other blue-green algae that will enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. First, we will see the introduction. Biofertilizers are defined as biofertilizer is a substance. Biofertilizer is a substance which contain living microorganisms. Bio, which means living. Biofertilizers is a substance which contain living microorganisms. In the another way, we can say that microbial inoculants. Microbial inoculants means microbial culture which help plant growth. That is also known as a biofertilizer. Or in the simple word, we can say that biologically active product, that is known as biofertilizer. Biologically active product, that is known as biofertilizers. These all are the definition of biofertilizers. Biofertilizer that do not contain any chemicals which are harmful to the soil. That does not contain any chemicals which are harmful to the soil, whereas chemical fertilizers that are more toxic to the soil nowadays. So we are switching to the organic farming, that is known as biofertilizer. Biofertilizer add a nutrient through natural processes, like here we see the role of using biofertilizers. What are the important role of biofertilizer using? That is biofertilizer that will help in nitrogen fixation. Second thing, that is solubilize plant nutrient like phosphate. Synthesis of plant growth promoting substance that to stimulate or enhance the plant growth. These are the three important role of using biofertilizer, that is nitrogen fixation. Second thing, that is make it available to the plant phosphorus, that is phosphate. And third thing, that is increase the plant growth promoting substance. Here we will see what are the disadvantages of using chemical fertilizers. The first, that is increased use can cause the damage physico-chemical properties of soil. If we are using the increased amount of chemical fertilizer, then it will cause a damage to the physical as well as the chemical properties of the soil. Chemical fertilizers are ultimately expensive than the biological fertilizer. It causes the environment problems like damage to the ozone layer, that is a greenhouse effect, by releasing the nitrous oxide and carbon monoxide. Many chemical fertilizers that are composed of hydrochloric acid and hydrosulfuric acid, ultimately they are toxic. Now, what are the advantages of using biofertilizers? It is economical, it is eco-friendly, biologically originated, therefore biodegradable. It is ultimately originated from the biologically agent, so it is biodegradable. It is non-toxic and non-carcinogenic. Easy application with less labor. No more labors are required to prepare the biofertilizer. No sophisticated technology are involved. It is a simple, natural, renewable and economical. crop yield increase by 15 to 20%, no adverse effect on crop, there is no any kind of side effect on the crop, improve the physico-chemical properties of soil such as pH, texture, structure, water, holding capacities of soil. Ultimately, whereas biofertilizer that will increase the physico-chemical properties of soil, whereas chemical fertilizer that will decrease the physico-chemical properties of the soil. Simple to use without any side effect. These all are the advantages of using biofertilizer over the chemical fertilizer. Now here we will see what are the limitations of biofertilizer. First limitation is that short shelf life. Shelf life that is less than 6 months. That expiry date is within the 6 months. We cannot use for a prolonged period of time. So these are the limitation of using biofertilizer. Care in storage is essential. While we are storing the biofertilizer, care should be taken. Not applicable to the all the crop, specificity between the biofertilizer and the plant. Sometimes the biofertilizers whatever that we have prepared, that is not, the one biofertilizer is not applicable to the all the crop. Here I have taken the one example, that is Rhizobium. It is a symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria with the leguminous plant. This Rhizobium culture, inoculants means culture, is used for the only leguminous crop. It is not used for the any other crops. So these are the limitation of using biofertilizer. Now here we will see classification of biofertilizer. Depending upon the microbial activities, biofertilizers are classified as follows, that is symbiotic nitrogen fixers, asymbiotic nitrogen fixers, blue-green algae, that is BGA which means blue-green algae, and azolla fertilizer. Fourth, that is phosphate solubilizing bacteria. Fifth, that is PGPR, that is plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. Plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. Sixth, that is mycorrhiza, and the seventh, that is organic fertilizer. We will see this all 7 classification of that is biofertilizer in detail. First we will start with symbiotic nitrogen fixers. Symbiotic nitrogen fixers, in which as we all know that the symbiotic nitrogen fixer that is rhizobacteria. Rhizobia are the gram-negative bacteria. They are aerobic, but they fix the nitrogen under the anaerobic condition. In that we know that nitrogenase enzyme that will help to fix the nitrogen. It is non-spore forming bacteria. Okay, these are the characteristic of rhizobacteria. They are the gram-negative bacteria, they are aerobic bacteria, non-spore forming soil bacteria. They are able to enter into symbiotic relationship with leguminous plant root, forming root nodules, that will form the root nodules, and in the root nodules rhizobacteria fix large quantities of the nitrogen that are present in the atmosphere, around 78%. That nitrogen which is unavailable to the plant, this rhizobacteria will fix this nitrogen into ammonia which is available to the plant, which is available to the plant for the synthesis of amino acids, proteins, etc. As we know that root of leguminous plants that shows the symbiotic associations with the bacteria, that is rhizobacteria. in which this rhizobacteria that will fix the atmospheric nitrogen that is present in the atmosphere around 78%, but the form which is present that cannot be utilized, that is present in the form of an triple bond and which is unstable. So this rhizobacteria will convert this atmospheric nitrogen into ammonium ion, that is NH4 plus ion. This ammonia that will help in the synthesis of amino acids and protein synthesis. They are added to the carriers like peat or lignite to prepare biofertilizers. Symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria, they are added with the carriers like peat or lignite. These are the type of coal to prepare the biofertilizer. Generally, they are mixed with 10% sugar solution or jaggery solutions, and then they are sprinkled on the seed before sowing. Before sowing, we sprinkle the solution of containing sugar and the jaggery onto the seed. The seed are sown in the soil. Bacteria grow along with the seed germinations and form the root nodules, enhancing the plant growth. Actinomycetes, Frankia species can form the symbiotic associations with many shrubs and fix nitrogen. Asymbiotic nitrogen fixers. These are the second type, that is asymbiotic nitrogen fixers. They are Azotobacter, Azospirillum, Bacillus polymexa. When applied to the rhizosphere, it is a region where soil and root make a contact is called rhizosphere. Rhizosphere is a region, as we know that this is the root, and surrounding the root there are the soil. So it is a region where soil and root make a contact is called rhizosphere. Or in the simple word, we can say that bacteria present in surrounding the root, that is known as rhizosphere, whereas rhizoplane, which means bacteria associated with the root. Rhizosphere fix the atmospheric nitrogen and make it available to the crop. Azotobacter can be used with a crop like wheat, maize, cotton, potatoes and other vegetables crop. Whereas Azospirillum that will colonize not only to the roots but also above ground part of the plant through symbiosis. Azospirillum can be used with a crop like maize, sugarcane, wheat. Third type, that is algal fertilizer, that is in that we use blue green algae, that is BGA, that is blue green algae, and azolla. They are useful biofertilizer in lowland paddy farm, that is rice farm, that is mostly it is used in rice farm. Here the composite culture of blue-green algae including Genera, Anabaena, Nostoc, Placentonema, etc. have been more effective than the single culture. Here we use the mixture of culture instead of using the single culture. Why? The blue-green algae fixer, that is atmospheric nitrogen, which is not available to the crop, as we know that atmospheric nitrogen that are present in the atmosphere around more abundant amount it is present, but it is not available to the crops. So this blue green algae and azolla that will fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil that will make available to the crop. They also produce plant growth promoting substances and provide the partial tolerance to the pesticides. These algal fertilizers, they also produce the plant growth promoting that will help in the plant growth and also provide the some kind of partial tolerance towards the pesticides. Fourth type, that is phosphate solubilizing bacteria, that is PSB, or we can also use that is phosphate solubilizing fungi. Phosphate solubilizing bacteria, or we can also use phosphate solubilizing fungi. Phosphorus is a limiting nutrient in a soil that is present in the soil, but it is in the form of limiting because it is found with that is bound with the other nutrient, other minerals. Bacillus megaterium, Bacillus polymexa, Pseudomonas striscia and Pseudomonas rhathonis. Aspergillus species that convert the non-available organic phosphorus into soluble inorganic phosphorus which can be utilized by the crop. Inorganic unavailable organic phosphorus, that is phosphorus, this is converted into the soluble inorganic phosphorus. The bacteria having the phosphatase enzyme that will convert the inorganic into the simple form of phosphorus. PGPR, that is plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. Plant growth promoting rhizobacteria that includes Pseudomonas fluorescens, Pseudomonas putida, they are the new biofertilizer. Pseudomonas species produce pseudobactin. Pseudobactin is a siderophore, and a siderophore are a low molecular weight compound and produced by bacteria, fungi and actinomycetes when intracellular, when inside the cell Fe2+ ion is less in the soil, and as we know that Fe2+ ion, that is a ferrous ion, is essential ion for the bacteria cell. So for that siderophore is produced. Siderophore will chelate the ion and makes ion unavailable to the harmful fungi. As we know that surrounding the soil there are so many fungi and the bacteria that are present, and the harmful, beneficial as well as the harmful, both are present. So what happened here, the Pseudomonas species will produce a siderophore that will chelate, that will take up all the ion that are present in the surrounding, and it will make unavailable, that will make unavailable to the surrounding harmful fungi that are present in the rhizospheres. Rhizosphere means that are present in the surrounding the root. PGPR, that is a plant growth promoting rhizobacteria that ultimately result in the increased yield of potato, radish and other crop up to 30 to 144%. They also produce plant growth promoting compound such as IAA, that is indole acetic acid, that is indole acetic acid that is help in the root and the shoot development of the plant. So PGPR that is also produce the plant growth promoting compound that is IAA, that is indole acetic acid, that is used for the development of both root and the shoot. Mycorrhiza, sixth type, that is sixth one. Mycorrhiza is a symbiotic associations with the roots of plant and fungi. It is a symbiotic associations with the plant's roots and fungi. The fungi help root in the absorption of nutrient from soil. Fungi in turn get its nutrient from the plant host. So ultimately both are benefits. There are two types of mycorrhiza, that is ectomycorrhiza, and the second type that is endomycorrhiza. In the ectomycorrhiza, they are found on the root of the plant and the fungal growth surrounding the root surfaces. This ectomycorrhiza absorbs nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium from the soil, and they also convert complex organic molecule into simple available form. They are also protect the root from the pathogens and also produce growth promoting substances. Whereas endomycorrhiza, they are found in the root of the most and the horticulture crop. They are also help the plant in obtaining phosphorus, also produce the growth promoting substances and offer the resistance against pathogens. Seventh type, that is organic fertilizer. In the organic fertilizer, it includes animal dung, animal urine, bone meal, oil cakes, other crop residues, sewage or a sludge, seaweed extract. All these compounds are biodegradable and mineralized by the soil microbes, and soil fertility can be increased. Humic acid and fulvic acid are also used in the organic fertilizer to improve the soil texture and water holding capacity. This is what all about the biofertilizer. In the biofertilizer, we have seen the definition. It is a biologically active product, or we can say that biofertilizer is a substance which contain living microorganism. Then we have seen the role of using biofertilizer in nitrogen fixation, solubilization of plant nutrient like phosphate, and increase the plant growth promoting substances. Then we have seen the disadvantages of using chemical fertilizer over the biofertilizer. Then we have seen the various advantages of biofertilizer. Then we have seen the limitation. What are the limitations of using biofertilizer? Then we have seen, depending upon the microbial activities, biofertilizers are classified into 7 types. In that, symbiotic nitrogen fixers, in that example, that is rhizobacteria. A symbiotic nitrogen fixer, in that we have seen Azotobacter, Azospirillum, Bacillus polymaxa. Then blue-green algae and azolla fertilizer. Then fourth type, then we have seen phosphate solubilizing bacteria that will make unavailable phosphorus is converted into the soluble phosphorus to the plant. Then the fifth type we have seen, that is PGPR, that is the plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. And the sixth type that we have seen, mycorrhiza, and the seventh type, that is organic fertilizer.